Let's try it again on a good board. We're coming in 2 inches. Shellacked boards. Now this time we're going to lay it out in landscape because we've got striations. But you can barely see these. I hope you can barely see them. I'm hoping they will disappear. I've got green and brown paint left. Let's try this on a substrate that isn't going to crinkle up. Okay. There's our field. We've learned from our mud bubbles to mix with caution. This is True Lime Casein medium. Is that high end? Ooh, that might be really elegant. Let's leave it just like that. Mixed with water. Lots of it. Now, if this were Shiva Casein medium, I would worry over time, and we're talking some years, that I would get yellowing. Simply because I have. When I set up a big field of medium like this to put a painting into, I came back to discover that I had things I wasn't expecting. That is really pedestrian. Okay. Let's let it drip down. Then we'll let it drip. Oh, shoot. We let it drip down. Nice. Now let's let it drip up. She said she wasn't just using up the rest of the paint, but she lied. Now, terre verte will give us some little bit of texture, but not very much. It's such a pleasant color. Oh, how can you not love it? Don't put your finger on there. Your finger has oil. Don't put the paintbrush on there. It's got paint. Let's have more paint. Now you see, oh look, texture is appearing. Now you see why I level up my boards so carefully, my desk so carefully. This is a huge puddle. You could really do without that. No, let's love it. I've also got a spot up here. Why did I do that? Because I thought this brush was clean, that's why I did that. Oh, I've got another spot up here. There's a couple more bubbles up here, but I'm going to live with them. My table is not quite level. Okay. Coming in while the paint is still wet. This can lead to enormous grief. But we're just going to do it. All right, we skated. look at it breaking up. I love it, I love it, I love it. I just disturbed it and it lost its texture. I can tell you lots of stories that go like that. Okay, well, we're going to have to be clean about this because I've got a line on there in watercolor pencil which will eventually dissolve itself, but it hasn't. Oh, come on, baby. This is what I meant by enormous grief. Once you get this whole surface wet, everything wanders out here. Okay, pretty good. Another great grief has appeared. There's flaking here. I would never have had that with Shiva Casein. But here we have flaking away from the board. And this is on our beautiful spring with creatures, all lovely, meditative. No, I'm distraught. It's flaking away. This background has failed in a couple of spots. I remember hearing online people who were enthusiastic about Casein paint on cabinets talking about how it would crackle, how it would break off, and that was so expressive. This is not just emulsion. This has some of that true Casein in it, and you can see that I have crackling here. This is a spot that is new, but maybe we can just make that go away. So I've designed vegetables growing out of it. This is garlic. I need big, bold strokes with a good, thick paint that will disguise the edge of the cracking. And then we will put vegetables growing out. I had such beautiful, beautiful, poor drawing, such beautiful, beautiful heads to the garlic. I cut them off because you're supposed to. You don't want the garlic flowering. It will give you so much energy in the flower rather than in the bulbs. I can bring these in. I'm going to go dig these up and we'll see what they look like now, what the shape of the bulbs is, because they're quite mature. At this time, the lower leaves were brown, coming off and then just crinkling as a brown leaf would. What I also discovered in looking close at it is that the stems don't go straight up. They grow this way, then the leaf comes off. No, let's get it right. They don't grow straight up. This way, then a leaf comes off. This way, then a leaf comes off. So we'll see if we can indicate that. It'll give it some subtlety, and I want to see about getting another head here, maybe with it flowering, although they would all flower at the same time, so this is going to be like Audubon. If we can pull this off, trick first will be to recover the sense of soil here and cover up these cracks. Here they are. I haven't been watering them, poor chickens. They've pulled away from their stems. But they don't come straight up out of the ground. They sit and kind of move off this way. Let's see if we can figure out the direction of those stems. And the question, of course, also is, how do the leaves come off? Is this short, 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 longer, 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 longer? So you got something Fibonacci going on here. And are the leaves coming off in a spiral, or are they going on either side? Looks like they're going off on either side. So here's the garlic all dried out of the garden, muddy, good grief. I'm going to clean that up. There's some rule about how you have to leave the skins on. These are getting the skins taken off. I have done an old trick. Copied the drawing over on the reverse with a soft pencil. Doing garlic like this is your opportunity, people, to show off your calligraphy skills. Do not do anything like this. This is for people who don't trust themselves, who think, oh, what if I get it wrong? You have great calligraphy skills, but this will transfer with fingernails. Thumbnails probably better. And I don't know if I got the segmentation right. I think that we'll try straightening them out as we paint them. But what I did at least was not copy over the stems in one big long swoop, but rather I did them one segment at a time. And let's hope that that gives us at least some notion of this zigzag, long, multi-S curve that they do. Here's the head that was coming down. This is like, again, like Audubon with his bird that has such a long neck that you have to show the head reaching down to eat something on the ground. None of the seed pods, flowers, hung down this far close to the ground. They just didn't. But they had such wonderful shapes. Look at this. How can you beat it? So anyway, garlic are us. Let's hope that these lines transfer. Why don't you look and see? Well, let's finish up first. Let's hope that they're transferring so that I'll have a guide for how to do this, and then we're going to figure out how to cover up the places where the paint has chipped with big, bold strokes. It's so hard to paint dirt. On a background like this with such lovely texture, I'm afraid that if you tried to get mincing around with doing something that looked like dirt, that you would end up where you'd really wish you weren't. Okay, guys, let's see if this will work. At least I got plenty of pencil on my thumb. Just enough to interrupt anything that I might have wanted to do. I can, oh yeah, nope, I can see the head here. Okay, we get to do calligraphy after all. Let's get some dirt going.